Hey guys, welcome to another day on the shop. Today we're going to be talking about fuel computer. Let's get to it. Today we're talking about the SAFC2. So this little doohickey, little computer mechanism, electronic, whatever you want to call it, it plugs into the ECU and changes the parameters from the mass airflow sensor to the ECU to accommodate for injectors, boost, whatever. So you can control a lot of different things with this. And I'm going to show you how to hook it up and then talk a little bit about the parameters in it, because I still have to program mine. So this is in an S13 and I have the wiring diagram up there. You'll have to find the pinout, which I'll link in the description below. So yeah, let's talk about this. This is older. They had the SAFC1, then they had the SAFC2, then they had the Neo come out. A lot of people will use the Neo still, but it's still about 10 years old as of technology. So the SAFC has been out since like the mid 2000s, so it's been out for a while. There's a lot of write-ups. I miss threads, I miss forums, because that's where you can go back and read specifically on the subject you're looking for instead of getting on Facebook or any other thing and then finding a group, asking a question, and then people bombarding you with random answers that you have to sit there and ponder on, when some of these threads and posts have pictures, videos, whatever else, but they stay there forever. So that's where I found all this and a lot more information. So let's go over this. With the wiring on an SAFC, like I said, you have your sensors, your signal to your mass airflow sensor, your ECU, your TPS, which is throttle position sensor, your NOx sensor, your tachometer, your ECU power, ground, and ground. Okay, so let's set y'all up here. All right. So with this, whenever you're putting in the white wire goes to the MAF. So find your pinout in your car that goes from the MAF to the ECU. You're going to cut that wire in half. All right, you're going to splice in these two wires. These are going to kind of connect the, be the bridge in the connection. So the white one goes to the mass airflow sensor. So the green or yellow one goes to the ECU. So make sure you do that. Butt connector, solder, whatever you want to do. The next one is gray. It goes to your TPS sensor. So it tells the SAFC where your throttle position sensor is. Alright, you need that one. Purple, it's a NOx sensor. It's not required for running this whole setup. It does help you keep track of things and watch out for certain things. You can have parameters in there to kind of cut things off with this. The green goes to your tachometer. Your tachometer tells the computer how many RPMs you're at with the throttle and what the airflow shows. Your red is obviously ECU power. You want a good power source, one that is constant to the ECU when your ignition's on. Black and brown are both ECU grounds. So the brown, you put 1 centimeter closer from the black to the ECU. So meaning the ECU is right here. Let me get my pen. Meaning the ECU is right here. Your SAFC is right here. Alright. You have your black wire. You put black with an L, and you'll put B. I can't draw backwards like this. Alright, and your brown. So the ground wire that comes off here, you're going to put this one right there, and then this one right there. And they need to be about 1 centimeter apart. So let's get into the programming. Alright, well, I have found on one of the threads kind of the same exact setup I have. So that's what I'm going with for the units on here, and then we can kind of play with it over time, so we can adjust. So it's not like a permanent kind of deal with that. This is on the stock ECU. Like I said, this is for an S13 240. Alright, we are going to do a setup, I don't know if you can see this, for a T3 at 10 PSI, which this one's not. It's at the stock PSI. 370cc injectors, stock mass airflow sensor, and a front mount intercooler. So we're going to go down the list with that. And so starting out, we have this. We're going to turn the car on. Let's turn it over the right way. Alright. So we're right here. Let's back out of that real quick. We'll go through that in a minute. Alright, the first couple things you want to do. Alright, you want to go to ETC at the bottom of your menu. Okay? And then it says select sensor type. Click next. We're going to hotwire for the S13. And then this is 5 in, 5 out, means we're using the same mass airflow sensor that's on the car. So that's what that asks for. The sensor cowl, we're leaving that where it is. Alright, we're going to go back, ETC, car select, 4 cylinders, throttle up. Alright, I think that's it. Sensor check, scale, warning. Alright, so that's what we're at. Now, we're going to go to settings. Alright, go to 1. 1 is high throttle. Let's see, high throttle. Next. Alright, I got all my parameters set to 27% negative, because that's what it requires for going from 270cc injectors to 370cc injectors. So we're going to set this to a different setting. Up. Going back to settings, we're going to go to TH point. TH point on here is throttle point. So we got it set at 10 and 75. A lot of people say this can be changed a lot. So that's where we're going to leave that. Alright, we're going to go back. Settings. Any points we've already done, that's each RPM you're looking at, and they're only selected a certain amount. So the first one's like 800 to 1200, and they're like 600 RPMs apart. So you can never have like an actual 1000 on every single any point, which I don't really like, but that's how it is. Alright, we're going to go up to throttle. It says 15%, but everything else says different, but we'll go to 15% for right now. Alright, and then this one's going to be 20, even though I've heard different. So this is like your deceleration. It kind of controls the fuel that comes back when you let off the throttle. Alright, we'll go to 16. We're going to see how this works. Alright, so we're going to go next. Back, settings, knock settings, we don't need that. Data file. Alright, so I've done everything I need. Alright, the other thing I've learned is, let's see, I need to go to my correction, throttle, and RPMs. So that's one of the next things I've read to be able to do this the right way. So this is what you find your any point. So that's what we're going to do. So that's what corrections we're going to see what we have to do when we do this. Let me look at it and I'll explain a little bit more. Okay, so the decel air, it talks about doing it at 1,000 and 2,000 RPMs as the car is cold, so that it can register what the throttle percentage is versus the air percentage. So you're going to do that with running the car, of course. And as you do that, you're going to write down the numbers so that you can fluctuate your any points for decel. So you're going to do your any point 1, any point 2 for that. That helps so that you don't have backfires and everything else. And it comes down smoothly. But right now we're going to start the car again. Actually, I'm going to do one more thing before we start the car. Because I got an exhaust leak I got to look at. So I'm going to fix that exhaust leak real quick, and then we'll go from there. So we've installed the SAFC. The car doesn't run the greatest right now. I'm still working on the tune. I think there's a few air leaks in the system, vacuum leaks. So I've got to diagnose that, and then slowly I should be able to get this thing up and running good. But just want to show you how to put an SAFC in and what the parameters were for certain things. But if you like stuff like this, subscribe, like this video, check out our merch, check out Teespring, add merch, check out Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So, until next time.